Hello, where's my phone? So here's my vlog for Friday, April 17th, 10:17. I slept in today as long as I could. I'm a little bit, depressed about my computer. So, yeah, I still haven't gotten to the bottom of what's going on with my computer. So what's going on is, normally, under normal circumstances, like Dreamweaver and computers, they work. You know, like if you were to ask it to open a page, it would open that page. And so right now I'm in the stage of my life where probably going to be yawning like this the whole time. I guess I yawn when I wake up, even though I overslept. I am in a stage of my life where I am, watching these AI images on our website for the first time, on a web page for the first time. And I'm putting them on Livy, okay? It's just a little bit of code, maybe like a paragraph of code, looks like that, per image that I copy off of Flickr, and I put it on here. And the problem is, all of a sudden, if I paste, like the first two chapters pasted fine. All of a sudden, if I paste a new chapter on, it just wants to spin around. So all of a sudden, it's like, I don't want to do it. And it's like, but in a weird way. Like normally, when it won't spin, when it gets to a size that it's too big, it'll start doing that. But this isn't a situation where the page is too big. It's happening in weird ways. So, and it's changing the rules. That's another thing. When something is seriously wrong, when the computer just changes the damn rules on you every time, so you don't even know what it wants. So, like in the beginning, it was opening Livy just fine. Couple of minutes, it would open Livy. But then I would try to open up Untitled 1. It's just that's what I called the page, Untitled 1. It's just a page that has the chapters in it, right? I cut out a chapter, and then I put it into the other page, and fly by, and then it pastes, and then you cut the other one out, and then you paste, and then the page is only growing by how many, new images have gotten in there. But the problem is when I pasted in chapter 3, all it would want to do is spin around. So then I was like, and it wouldn't even get that far though, because all of a sudden I would open up. This is the weird part. I would open up Livy, and Livy would open fine. Okay, so I'm like, okay, so now let's open up. Now let's open up chapter 1, chapter 3, and now chapter 3 spins forever. And I'm like, okay. And I don't think this is a situation where you have to reinstall Dreamweaver. I haven't done that yet. I don't want to. I'd have to reconfigure all of the upload stuff. But I don't think it's that, because it started happening after the last update, like my last Mac update. And sometimes when a Mac update happens, it screws up the computer. It screws up, like, it fixes it, but sometimes it screws up Dreamweaver. It makes Dreamweaver not work. And I've had problems like this before, actually, with my other computer, where all of a sudden Dreamweaver won't work. And it wasn't that long ago, and it was when I was trying to, I think I was trying to fix links on like a page, and the computer just wouldn't, it wouldn't like when you click the image, the word, it wouldn't show the link or something along those lines. Like it just wouldn't work. No matter how many times I'd restart the computer, and I think I even reinstalled Dreamweaver a couple times. And I was like, wow, so I'm screwed. I can't do anything with Dreamweaver. Like nothing. It just won't work. But it didn't matter because at the time I was working on Google Earth, like whatever it was. And so I just migrated over. I just migrated over to Google Earth, and I just worked on Google Earth, and I was like thinking to myself, you know, I'm going to be working on Google Earth for so damn long that by the time I finally start working on my website again, that kink is probably going to be gone. Like, they will have done another update and fixed it. And sure enough, that's what happened. Like, when I went back on it, they had done some update and it was working again. And so that's basically the attitude that I'm going to have with this. Like, it probably is like, yeah, well, I'm like constantly yawning. It's like a kink that, it's because I had an energy drink night before last, at work. Yeah, it's, I think the last update that it did happened to put a bug in the computer that caused Dreamweaver to not work. Because then what happened was I tried to figure out what's going on with Livy, and this is like the wrong time for this to happen. Like, I was so fired up to like look at the first book, get the first book done, have it all work, and then all of this is like, but on the other side, it's like, of course this is going to happen. Like, ever heard of Murphy's Law? If something wrong can happen, it will. And with me, if it's the perfect time where something I really don't need something to happen, of course it's going to happen. So what I did was, I was having to deal with this voodoo magic where Livy would open fine, and this is like all I did yesterday. It's like literally all I did. I slept in to get my sleep back, and then I got in here and I was fucking with this until I got tired and went to sleep. That's like all I did. So, yeah, so Livy opens fine. Chapter 3 opens fine, but if you try to have them both open at the same time, it's not going to open, even if you restart the computer, which makes no sense because I normally would have a book like Livy open, and then I could have like 5 more books just like Livy, just as big as Livy open at the same time. They all open. I wouldn't want to have more books as big as Livy, like more than what I can see across the screen. You know, like I wouldn't have 10 of them open. Those books are too big, but yeah, you can toggle back. You know, it's slow, but at least 2, and at least a tiny ass little page along with Livy. Give me a break. So it's just God fucking with me, like, gotcha. We're gonna not work on the first book. So what I did was, I knew that I could open Livy. So I opened Livy, and then I went and I just piecemeal, one by one, I took every single chapter off of Livy from the end, and I pasted it onto its own page. I created a folder called Livy, and then I put it in its own page in Livy. So each chapter gets its own page. So my Livy page is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And then I took my Livy page down to where it only had 2 chapters. All it was the menu, and then the first 2 chapters. And, yeah, and at one point yesterday, the computer crashed on me. While I was pasting or something, it just crashed. It just turned off, just bang, like it just disappears off the screen. And so then you double-click on the icon of Livy of Dreamweaver to get it started again. And it pops up and is like, Dreamweaver crashed, would you like to recover? And I'm like, sure. Because if I recover it, I didn't want it to like not recover, and then then it takes forever to open up the whole Livy, like it didn't save it where I was because it crashed. And so I was like, yeah, recover where it was. So it recovered, but it didn't include chapter 6. Chapter 36, that's when it did. And, but luckily, like it recovered it crashed when I hit Control V, when I hit cut. But luckily, the thing that I cut, it actually saved the cut. So I just hit paste and it got it back on. But anyway, yeah, so then I kept doing that. It only crashed once. And then I got down to 2 chapters and I was like, okay, moment of truth. See if, open up chapter 3 so you could finally put it on Livy. And now open Livy, because Livy only has 2 chapters. And Livy didn't start. And so I went to sleep and I woke up. And you know, this is what I woke up to. After 10, 12, I don't know how long I slept. I slept extra long. After 10 hours of sleeping, I wake up to Dreamweaver not being able to open up even 2 chapters of Livy. And I don't even have any other chapters open, because it wouldn't open up with chapter 3 there at all. So I was like, oh, I know. Just copy chapter 3. Just copy it. And then turn off Dreamweaver, and then try to start Dreamweaver with 2 chapters, and it won't even start with 2 chapters. So whereas before it would start with the complete Livy, now, even though all I have is chapter 3 copied, it's not even open, it's just copied onto my copy. I have it Control-C. Somehow it knows that I have it copied, and now it's not even going to open up to chapter 2. So that's what I'm talking about, Dreamweaver just getting worse and worse, developing a personality and getting less and less cooperative to the point where it won't even open up one tiny little page. And so, you know, if this is like a thing where my Dreamweaver's just not going to work, if I'm gonna keep moving forward with the website, I'm gonna have no choice but to just focus entirely on obviously keeping up with every day of using up all my credits every day of collecting the chat GTP images. But yeah, I'm gonna have to work on just splicing images. Luckily, I can splice images. I have plenty of work to do, and I don't even need internet for that. But wow, like I can't use Livy. Like, I can't use Dreamweaver at all. I can't build Livy on Dreamweaver at all. And I don't know why, and just because, and I'm going to have to wait like 6 months or something or whatever. A month, or who knows how many months, until all of a sudden Livy's like, oh, guess what? The computer's like, hey, guess what? I think I'm ready to like open your tiny little page now. You know? So it's like, God damn, dude. All I'm trying to do is the simplest little thing, and it won't, because I got too excited. You know, if you get too excited about something, like these inanimate objects, somehow they can pick up on that wavelength of like electromagnetic aura coming off of you, and it's like, oh, really? Well, we're not going to do it. So I have no choice. What we're going to do is we're going to force quit. Force quit. All right. And then we're gonna, I guess, close all these. Some guy said that the Range Rover Evoque is nothing compared to the his new whatchamacallit. Nissan Araya. And so anyways, at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm also going to restart the computer, because computer, like, when the thing was freaking out before with the uploading the images. Oh, and that's another thing that could have happened. My computer, I had to completely restart my computer after every single batch of images, of like 400 images I was uploading onto Flickr. And that could have something to do with it. Like, now my computer just needs to get restarted like multiple times before everything because of some glitch. Or maybe the glitch that was from the update that caused me to have to restart the computer after every batch upload is the same glitch that's making Dreamweaver not start. So now I restarted the computer. And now I go and I restart Dreamweaver. This is the kind of stuff that's gonna make me want to buy a fucking joint today, to try to just sit here and recalibrate my life, because I'm going to be forced to do something that I was not prepared to do mentally. I was not prepared to not be able to see my product, to be able to see the ChatGTP images on my webpage. I wasn't prepared for that. I didn't think that was going to happen. That all of a sudden the computer was going to be like, guess what? We're not going to work with you anymore. We don't like this stuff. And so, yeah, loading cache. Now, when I restart the computer, that means that I can't paste anymore. I just remembered that. So maybe I should have tried to just restart Dreamweaver and then paste it on there because it was in there. Because now what I'm going to have to do is open up chapter 3, copy it, close chapter 3, because this fucking thing is so moody. So here's my chapter 3, all right? You see how fast? Now this is how big it is. It's just one chapter in a book. It's tiny. It's nothing. That's me scrolling from the top to the bottom of it. It's got 72 tiny little chapters like this, so it's probably 72 pages worth, right? So all I have to do is copy it, copy, and then close it, because now I'm having to baby this thing. And so now we're going to open up Livy, and because Livy only has 2 chapters, Livy's not going to open. Even though it's a tiny ass little page, Livy's just not going to open. Even though it was opening just fine when it was full size, now that I took all the chapters off down to chapter 2, it's not going to open at all. Because it knows that now I want to put chapter 3 on there, and it's like, oh look, oh look. Okay, check it out. This is actually a major bonus. But, here, moment of truth. Let's see what we got. So here's a moment of truth. Now, normally to paste a tiny little, chapter like that would not really take that long. It's just like a couple of seconds and then it pastes. Boom! Alright, and now what you do is you hit that. Okay, that's actually a major development. Okay, good. And so now what I'm going to do... Good. You know, I might just sit here and work all day long. Because I'm so frustrated with this bullshit. I really, really would like to see these images on Livy. In fact, I might just postpone the whole getting it in shape thing. So now what I do is I'm going to open up chapter 4. And then I'm straight up going to just close Livy. And now all I have is chapter 4. All I have is chapter 4. So now what I do is I would just go to Flickr and go to my album, Livy, and yeah, and then go into scroll to chapter 4. Oops. These are the images, by the way. And there's 161 pages worth of these, which is pretty groovy. It's pretty tubular. Alright. Cool. And so what I do is, here it is, chapter 4. Here, I'll show you how I do it. What you do is you click there, you copy, Now you make sure that the width is about 320 pixels. That's the perfect size. Watch, I'll show you. And then you go here, you do it in split. It works really fast because chapter 4 is all by itself. I have this like div to keep it center. I take that out, it confuses it. I paste it where it needs to go, hit paste, and look, it's the same exact size. It doesn't change the size at all, and it takes up the whole thing. So it's exactly 320 pixels for the 16-inch computer. Isn't that cool? And I just do that over and over again. Oh man, I'm back in business. And then I hit this. That's the image, and then I hit it again. And then it's written, rinse and repeat. Oh man, I'm back in business. Okay. Oh my god. Okay, so basically what I have to do is I just have to restart the damn computer every damn time. Yeah. So anyways, that's what I did yesterday. Well, actually, another thing that I did yesterday with my time was I was masturbating myself new images for the hot chicks. Because I was doing too many for, like, regular chicks. And I was like, but what about the fucking, like, Sophie Arvabrick and, Samantha Herford and, Vladislava Galagan, Melinda Lindmark, those chicks. Because a lot of those chicks are like begging me and like talking to me and stuff. Anyways, well, now that I fixed this, see, now I don't even know what to do. We did a freeze. It's like super cold out, but that's exactly how I feel. That's how I woke up this morning feeling. And so that means I don't have to ride my bike to work. I mean, I could ride my bike to work. When I go out and I ride around, I see other people doing it. You know what I mean? And when you see other people and it's like you're in the world where all the other people, you're like, oh, okay, obviously I should have done this. I would have been a fucking idiot to not like like when I was a kid, I used to have spikes on my mountain bike tires when I was in like 7th grade. Like 7th grade, I'd have spikes on my mountain bike tires. I'd ride all the way across town, like to school and stuff, in the middle of the winter in the snow. Because I thought it was cool that you could do that with the spikes on the tires. And like, yeah, I like because other people do it too, and then you put the mask over your lungs so your teeth don't get cold and stuff, and even lungs, and all the tricks of the trade for like freezing. And now I'm like, fuck that, even though the winters are way more mild. But no, I have a brand new like Nissan Ariya Engage Plus, 389 horsepower, dude. 0 to 60, 4.8 seconds. Oh man, just saying that's making me want to go buy a joint. Dude, they sell weed for $5. $5 after taxes. They sell these big ass like nuggets that get you, and if you don't have a tolerance, dude, that'll keep you fucked up for like a week for $5. It's practically free. Even if you do have a tolerance, dude, the only difference between that stuff is it was like hard and like, but it still fucked my brain. I think I'm like too old for this shit, man. Drugs and stuff. I'm too old. That's what I feel like doing. I feel like just going to the store, getting a goddamn energy drink, just to say fuck you to this whole fate bullshit. These little goblins with the computer, man. Like, I really, like last night, with the night that I worked, my last 12-hour shift, I was doing really good, dude. I was in the zone. I showed up really wired. I had like an energy drink. I got a Monster. Those are good. In fact, I'm going to get a Monster. And I was doing great, and all of a sudden, the goddamn computer, like, stopped, like, it stopped pasting chapter 3, and, so I'm just thinking, like, how many chapters could I have zoomed through? Because I was in the zone, man. I was, like, the friction had gone away. You know, it wasn't tedious anymore. The whole copy-paste, I was into it now. I was like, all right, let's do this. But you see, all of my books are as big as Livy. Livy's just another 3,000 page book, dude. In fact, I have a page on my website that shows the sizes of biggest to smallest of all of my books. See, now I'm hiccuping uncontrollably. This is just how out of shape I am. Check it out. I'm at 89.95 people visited. So it's only like 100 more. And then I've hit 10,000. And I asked ChatGTP, I'm like, these are just games I play. It doesn't mean shit. But I asked ChatGTP, I'm like what would you call like a small website, and what would you call like a medium website or like a bigger website? And it's like, in terms of total visitor, and it's like under 10,000, you're like a little website, but after from 10 to 100,000 unique visitors, you are a niche website. So I'm about to become a niche website. So that's pretty cool. Anyways, if you look at my books, yeah, you have it by size. I'll even show you where. My Kindle and Kindle. Oh, those are my Kindle and LibriVox books. Those aren't my books. Oh, huh. I don't have the books that I have entirely organized by size. I just have these. But the Mahabharata is the biggest. I have it on there. And I think I have History of Decline and Fall. Oh, it's not on here. Oh my God. You have short nonfiction collection from like 18 books from the, like little magazine articles from the 1800s, and that's 9,711 pages worth. And that's on LibriVox. All you have to do, like let's do book 36. All you have to do is click that, and boom, you can hear it. You can see all the chapters, and then you hit play, and boom, you're off to the races, man.
Practical skunk raising.
Practical skunk raising. Like that's another use for my website, dude, by the way. And I have it even organized in another spot. Of like America, and then it even has the chapters, and then there's with all the information, but it's not done yet. Anyways, yeah, like they're all as big as Livy, and so, you know, with Livy, starting Livy with everything wrong that could happen, not working, now I know, like the next book that I tackle, I'm going to do it exactly like I do Livy. I'm not going to fuck around anymore with this waiting around bullshit, spinning around. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the book, I'm going to bust that book wide open. I'm just going to put every single chapter of that motherfucker, even if it's like 50 or 100 of them, into its own damn page. Right at the beginning. And I'm not even going to piece it together until I'm done with the entire book. Until every single chapter is chock full of everything. All of the images are full and like topped off on Flickr, you know, recreated if I have to from ChatGTP, all ready to go. And then one at a time, I'm just going to paste them onto the book from beginning to the end. And that way I can gauge how much longer it takes to paste each one on. And whenever it cracks, if it does, and it can't do it anymore, I know that's the limit of the page. I look at how many megabytes the page is. Usually it's about 8 megabytes when the page freaks out. But that was with the other computer. Or maybe it was even smaller than that. Usually, yeah, like 3 or 4 megabytes is when the computer freaks out. My older computer. So maybe this one it can do more. And that's just in text. You could have a web page that you don't have anything other than just text in the code page, and it's 4 megabytes of text. But yeah, and if it can paste the whole book, boom, you did it, and that's the image. And that's what I'm gonna try with Livy. And once I get done with Livy, yeah, and I already have the images built for everything. All the way up until Pliny. So I have Livy already built, Decline and Fall already built, although I think its images are in with Livy because I only see like 100 in there. I like lost it or something. New Testament built, Old Testament built, but I have to fix New Testament because it's the book itself because it's corrupted. Plutarch, and I'm working on Pliny. So I'm up 6. I'm working on my 6 right now. And I actually had like an entire day of setback from Pliny because all of a sudden I started collecting ChatGPT images from Livy. I was on chapter 26:10, 26:9, or 25:9. And I happened to have not Pliny open anymore, but Livy for some reason because I was checking the images that I built, and I didn't realize that I was looking at Livy and not Pliny. And Livy has like the same size, and so I'm like, okay, go to chapter 26:10, and sure enough, there was a chapter 26:10 for Livy, and for a whole day, until I was like, wait, what am I doing with Livy? But anyway, I guess that provides me an opportunity to compare the images. Because I can go back and look at the images on Livy, and then I can look at the ones that I created, and I can see if they're similar. And I bet you they're going to be exactly exactly the same. They look exactly the same to me. But I think the computer is that consistent. Oh my God, it's snowing now. Oh, cool. Snowing in like halfway through April. That's a good sign. Yeah. I can't remember what I was talking about. So anyways, I know that can happen, so now I have to double check. Am I actually downloading the images from the book that I was doing? What was the book I was doing? Pliny. Is this Pliny? Okay. Yeah, I cannot believe, because this happens a lot, by the way. It's maybe a couple dozen times or more. I can't believe how long I go around the wrong path in these little snafus, these little like brain farts or whatever you call them, these like misdirections. I can't believe how long I do it before I realize, like, I've been going the wrong direction. I've done, like, I can't come up with any examples right now, but it's like just these really long lists, and then all of a sudden you're doing the wrong list. You've already done, and then anyway. So that's what happened. At least I fixed it. I am not in the mood right now to, like, go to the gym. I'm just gonna sit here, smoke weed, and I'm gonna go buy $5 of weed and an energy drink. Fuck it. And I'm gonna go because it's snowing, and I'm gonna just sit hanging out here all day long until 8, and then I work tonight at 8 all night long until 8 in the morning, and that's gonna be my first day where I really hit it. That's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, dude, I need to. When you're locked into something, dude, I don't know if you understand, if you can relate, but if you're like a goal-oriented person and you're locked into something, like, and then the snafus happen and then you have to dig your heels in, now you're just focused, and you can't just like turn that off and like go, I'm gonna go to the gym and work out. If I went to the gym right now and started working out, I'd be doing this. I'd be doing like the curls at like a really low weight because I'm fucking weak as shit right now. And soft at like 60 pounds. I'd be like, that fucking Livy. You know, it would be miserable. It'd be better for me to just be here and be like, you motherfucker, I'm gonna take you out, you bitch. Like, yeah, so anyways, basically what happened was having to restart the computer all those goddamn times. Every single time I upload 400 images to Flickr, caused my computer to get so discombobulated that I had to continue restarting the computer over and over again just because I opened up a file on my Dreamweaver. Like it had to get reconfigured. Because that's kind of a way that you fix computers. You can reconfigure computers is by restarting them, but sometimes restarting it once doesn't do the trick. Like, you have to restart it twice or 3 times because it like fixes it, but it doesn't reconfigure it all the way. And that's basically what I had to do here. So anyways, I did a demo on like uploading 16,444, and I tried to upload, that's how many got onto the what do they call them? The collection. No, inside collection is album. Inside the album. But I have 20,018 images, and so if you upload 20,018 images onto Flickr in one night, it not only is it gonna fill up I have unlimited Flickr. I love Flickr. I only pay him like $50 every year. I think it's now it's like 75 or $100 a year, but unlimited images. And you also do unlimited video too. But yeah, that will discombobulate the shit out of your computer itself, though. which is interesting. So anyways, that's what I'm up to. I'm going to go upload my videos to all of my girlfriends because I'm Captain Sexy. One thing I realized about women, which I'm totally full of shit because I don't even talk to women. So in my mind, in my fantasy mind that doesn't even exist in the real world, so don't listen to anything that I say. But one thing that I realized about women in my retarded mind is that they don't care if you have muscles. They only care if your dick works. That's all they care about. And then if you have money. But forget about the money. You're still good enough if your dick works. That's what I realized about women in my mind. Anyways, which my dick doesn't work, by the way. Only if I smoke like a shitload of weed, and then it does. All of a sudden, it's like that little like carbon thing that was blocking up your Testarossa broke free, and now the Testarosa's running again for a little bit. Anyways, that's enough talking. I have a job. I can't get fired, so I have to like keep my mouth shut. But one thing people who don't have YouTube videos need to understand is that if you talk and you're a talker and a YouTuber, like you're a social justice warrior. You're a social cultural warrior. You're trying to push freedom of speech. You're trying to do this for everybody. And so you also have to understand that there's a little bit of give and take. There's a little bit of like tolerance that has to come in. And you have to understand that like I'm a human too, and I have bills, and I have a heart and a soul. And in fact, I have more heart, more soul, and more humanity than any of you do. Because I'm going the extra leg, the extra mile. And I'm risking myself. And I'm trying, and I'm building something that nobody even wants. But I know that they want it, they just don't realize they want it yet. Because people are too distracted by all the drama in the world. If there was no drama going on in the world right now, with the wars and everything, like, people would be interested in trying to study history. Because there would be the space for it. We wouldn't be all bombarded. And so I'm just waiting for the time where we can have peace again. And then people, hey, look, history book with images, AI. And then people go, oh, yeah, look, you know. So I don't deserve, because I got fired last year before I even got to work my first day because of YouTube videos. Because I had like an angry YouTube video. I showed emotion on YouTube, which I guess you're not supposed to do if you're green zone, spiral dynamics green zone. The way spiral dynamics works is first you're an animal, you care about yourself, and then you care about your tribe. And then you go into green zone and you think that you care about all of humanity, but the problem is your brain's not turned on. You're just retarded because you don't read yet. And so you think that anybody who's not like you is now part of the enemy. So then you just keep fighting. And you're just as much of a killer as red zone. And so once you get to like orange or purple zone, that's when you realize that we're all one, and then people are different from you, and then you tolerate, and then we can all get along. So the green zone people, like the ultra left, are more dangerous than regular people. Okay, they will try to take you out. Although I don't think there's such thing as green zone. I don't think it exists. Those are the people though who could help though. And fix things like in something where something's really fucked up, like in Israel. Get a bunch of green zoners into Israel, but not in America, because then you'll take people out like me. I'll be considered the enemy just because I talked about like OnlyFans or something like that. You know, I mean, this is stuff that I do in my own personal life because I was I'm on the computer all the goddamn time, and the fucking computer's always spinning around. What am I gonna do on my computer if I'm always looking at my computer and my cell phone with it spinning around? Obviously, I'm going to migrate. I'm going to go on to Instagram, and I'll click like on Instagram, hot chicks and stuff, and all that kind of stuff. Anyways, and then I'll migrate over to OnlyFans because these fucking chicks are hot. Anyways, anyways, I don't think I have anything to worry about. Yeah. I'm gonna drive out there into the world with it cold with my nice electro car. Oh, and another thing that happened yesterday, and I think it could have happened because I got discombobulated with the computer. But like I came home from work. I rode my bike to my mom's house, hung out there for like an hour. And then I came here and I was hanging out here and it was like in the afternoon. Like I'd been here for hours, dude. It was like the afternoon. And I'm here like scratching my head, pulling my hair out, like what the fuck? You know, trying to create these new images, having to restart the computer because it wouldn't open. And then I look up there and my Eddie Merrick's, that bike that I got in 2017, the bike I ride to work, it wasn't there. I was like, huh? And so then I walk all around my apartment and it's nowhere. And I'm like, but I rode my bike home from my mom's house. Why is it not in my apartment? And I'm like, oh, fuck. Because I think I went to my car down in the basement first to like get change out of my car, right? Because I was stressed and I was going to get a joint and I was going to see if there was money in the change, which there wasn't. It was just a bunch of pennies. But what happened was I must have brought my bike down there and not brought it in. And then it's somewhere between my car and here, I lost track of my bike because I was so distracted from the computer not working that I just came in my computer and I either left my bike just laying there in the garage next to my car or like outside of the building here or like, anyway, so I was like freaking out. I opened up my door and my bike was like laying across the door. So somebody had to grab my bike at one point and they knew that it was my bike and they put the bike in front of my door. And I was like, oh my God, thank God. So I have to like chill. I have to like count to 10 and I have to not feel rushed, even though I'm totally excited about finally getting the images onto to Livy. That I have to like be in the real world and I have to be looking around to make sure like I still have my bike with me. You know, I've done this stuff before. I was in Cusco once and I like thought that I locked my bike to this tiny little like the little things that keep people from stepping over it to walk into the garden in the central square of Cusco, Peru. And I went and I walked around Cusco looking at the like without my bike, looking at like museums and stuff all day long. I think I even took, and after all day long, and this is a tourist town with millions of thousands and thousands of people everywhere. I walked to get my bike and my bike was laying there in the middle of the grass, not locked up to anything. Somehow I forgot to lock it. I think the lock was around the metal thing, and then I didn't lock it around the bike, and it was just like laying there with everybody. And once I did that with my bike in college, it was leaned up against my car, and then I drove away, and I went to my friend's house. I hung out with my friend's house for like an hour, and I was like, where's my bike? And I was, oh, fuck! And I drove back up, and it was laying in the middle of the parking lot. But like, I have my bike stolen here all the time. Like, I had like 3 bikes stolen like a year ago, and I had a really thick lock, like this thick, tied around my central pillar inside my locked underground garage. Somebody went and like sawed through it, and they stole 3 of my bikes. They stole my 23-pound one speed carbon fiber Fuji mountain bike, which I was going to use for like Strava, going up Strava hills. I was going to cheat. I was going to use a super fast bike. But yeah, they stole that. They stole an old stump jumper that's 30 years old that I liked. And then they stole my my recliner. But then like a week later, they brought my recliner back. And it was missing a seat. So now I have that exact recliner that was stolen for a whole week. That's out on my deck right now, that bike that I thought was missing. But I had taken, they took the seat off and I threw the seat away because I thought the recliner was done. So then I went and I bought another seat. So I have to go and figure out a way to put like a regular bike seat on my recliner, not like a big flat seat. And then what happened was like a couple of years ago, they cut the lock. And this was another episode. This wasn't when they stole those 3 bikes. This was like another episode. And for some dumbass reason, I locked bikes down there again, even though they had already stolen a bike. But they had stolen a mountain bike that my friend gave me that had the same exact paint job as my time trial bike. It's red and yellow. It's a Klein. They cut the lock and they stole it, but then they brought it back like a year later. Like so whoever's been stealing my bikes, it's the same person. Because I live like Mexican. Little Mexico is like the next is like 2 neighborhoods over, right next to me, where they have all the little old cars and stuff, and it could have been them. Because they also like to chop off all of the bike tools at the bike park. They used to have bike tools all over, connected with these big cables, and they just went and chopped them off. So anything around this part of town just gets stolen, gets the cars broken into, and all that kind of stuff. A car was stolen a couple months ago, and this has been going on for years. So it's not just literally. This is back in the 80s. The guy who sold me my motorbike said he lived in this building. You have to watch out because his radio was stolen out of his car in the 90s or something. But anyway, yeah, they brought back one of my bikes, and then they brought back my Klein. But it was just the Klein, and then a few months ago they brought back the wheel to the Klein. I just saw the wheel there, and I'm like, oh, that's... So they've just been... In 3 separate occasions, somebody brought back something that they'd stolen to me. And so, yeah, now I have 2 bikes back here in my apartment that had previously been missing because somebody stole them. So I don't know if that means that I can start locking stuff in my basement again, or maybe they're trying to trick me. They're like, hey, you should lock it down. Maybe I can get something better this time. So I'm, like, paranoid. But, like, the motorbike that I got the other day, which I'm super excited about. I guess it's 3,000 watts, and it's up to 6,500 watts. I'm like, holy shit, am I about to... And plus it has an interchangeable battery. So I could go motorbike 70 miles or whatever, not on level 5, but I can motorbike maybe 30 miles or something. On level 5, just through the mountains, high altitude, not having to deal with like low oxygen. Just high altitude mountain motorbiking, exploring trails. And then go back to my car, take out the battery, plop another one in, and go do it again. I mean, hello. Damn, we're like in a new world. Anyways, and I can store it in my apartment because it's only 135 pounds. So I just put it in the elevator, do it up the elevator, and store my motorcycle in my apartment right there. And I even have another electric mountain bike over there hanging from the wall in my bedroom. So that's like... So now I'm going to have like all of my bikes in here. So, but at least that's good to know that I might be able to store stuff in the building. Because the person who's been stealing came to God or something. I don't know. But then there could be another person who comes up who hasn't come to God yet and wants to take bikes. But, anyways, that's what I'm up to. Yeah, dude, I'm not in the right mindset. I'm just gonna smoke because it's all cold and shit. I'm gonna go buy a fucking joint, dude. I'm gonna buy a joint. I'm gonna get my head screwed back on. That's no fun, dude, when you're driven like me. And besides, I've been so out of shape for so long. I'm used to this muscle atrophy pain around my back and everything. I'll get back in shape when I get back in shape. I don't think I could even do a single pull-up. Like, that's how weak I am. Here, I'll show you how strong I am. It's ridiculous. I don't know how much I weigh, but I wouldn't be surprised if I'm over 200 pounds. But this is like my strength level. I'm like weak as dick. This is my strength level right now. And I haven't done a pull-up in forever. But, oh wait, I'm not that weak. Ow! But I almost pulled my muscle, dude. I could feel it almost pulling. So I can do a pull-up, but I could probably only do like 5 pull-ups like that, dude. Oh, God. Anyways, okay, so that's enough talking. Wish me luck. Wish that the goblins stay out of the computer. And, yeah. I'm gonna, I just went one day where I'm here working on Twitter, on Flickr, so I know what I can do in a day and how long it'll take me to finish Livy. But I have the situation down. And this is it. By the time I'm done getting these images in, because it'll take me a while, because I'm going to have to rebuild images and stuff and relocate images. I think I created a bunch on Perplexity I have to get. But once I get those filled up, by the time I post Livy on there, chapter by chapter, hopefully by then, the kink, there'll be like another update or something, or my computer will have been restarted enough times or something. that little kink is going to be gone, and I'll be able to fill up Livy again and open Livy and upload it. So, anyways, that's what I'm up to. Talk to you later.